So I have two tips for Christian school teachers to start that discipleship relationship with their students. I think this is something great right at the start of the year or whenever you watch this video. The first thing is in regards to prayer. Every Christian school teacher I met has prayed before class and maybe even take prayer requests at times. And I don't want to discourage that. But what I want to encourage is to print out a class list of your students. And whether you want to do this weekly, like if you're an elementary teacher, or monthly if you're more middle school, high school teacher that has students come in and out of your classroom, plan on pulling each student aside during school, when they're doing some classwork or in between classes or at lunchtime. Pull them aside and ask them, what can you pray for them for? Bring a prayer journal with you and you can be writing these prayer requests down so that you can follow up with them. If they had a big test the next day or their aunt's in the hospital, you can ask them later, how are things going? And now they know how much you care. But what this really does is there's about 10% of all students in your school that feel like nobody cares about them. And that's not a made-up statistic. I survey tons of schools. It's about 10 to 12% of students feel like no faculty member cares about them. And it's probably true. The good students have connections with teachers. The bad students certainly have connections with teachers. It's that kind of 10 or 12% in the middle that can very easily feel like nobody cares about them. But if you are individually pulling them aside and praying for them, that can make a huge difference. With that same class list, what you can do is also figure out what their church experience is. Do they go to church? Do they go to church regularly? Are they involved in youth group or children's ministry? You can get a real feel for the students' involvement in church, and this will help you with lots of things in the future. Inviting that family to your church when you got something going on, or connecting with the students that love their church and love their youth ministry, pointing out the students to them like, hey, maybe invite them to come with you sometime. I'm not sure how involved they really are. It's just a piece of information that will help you down the road in future discipleship ventures. I hope this helps begin that discipleship relationship with your students.